Damage the world for you.
Coming to you live from Teats and Nash.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Burnout. You're listening to Teats and Ash, the show where two real-life providers get real about health habits, wellness, and the broken healthcare system. We're here to educate, empower, and entertain you. One appointment-free episode at a time. This is healthcare without the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Years of burnout.
But we were also in that system where it perpetuated when it was, they were saying, this is, you signed up for it.
Oh,
that's
God,
how
I'm gonna
we
punch somebody in the face.
So
when
we're
you sign up
we're
for it.
done Tom turkeys. So we're now projecting for the new generation.
But I think the
How
new
do you
generation,
help them?
I really honestly admire them.
I do too.
I really do. I'm so proud of you guys
I am
because
too.
they have recognized early on what they will and will not
Yes.
tolerate, and they are good at setting boundaries.
I love it.
And that's the issue with the nursing shortage right now.
Right.
There's not a nursing shortage.
They just set boundaries.
They have set boundaries, and old school seasoned the C-suite people, they're not willing to compromise.
No, they're not. I mean, I think it's going to evolve because
I think so too.
Now, like the nursing shortage is all over the place.
It's bullshit, is what it is.
And there's not a shortage of nurses.
No, do you
It's
know
just
how many
that
schools have
facility.
waiting lists for nurses to get in to become nurses? So you have people waiting in the wings to become nurses, and they're going to wait. They're going to become nurses. And then they get out into the field and they realize, oh my God, we got to talk about nursing education. This is a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be.
Man,
It's not Grey's Anatomy. It's not cute little scrubs running around doing fun things. It's dirty work. It's tough work.
Yeah. It's
And then
down
they
and
get burnt
dirty.
out because they have been misled to think that it's some glamorous kind of thing and they're making a good living at it. Nurses get paid for what they might have to do, not for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
They get paid for it. They are paid the little that they're paid to recognize a lab that's off. I need to call the doctor because this lab is off. I need to tell that. They're there first in recognizing a lot of things, and they're relaying this information. They're making a picture for that provider to say, oh yeah, we need to intervene here.
Mm-hmm.
Nurses know quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. They really do.
They're not fucking in closets, and they're not
That part.
they're not doing that. And
The
they're not
leather
oh, for
lounge.
God's sake. They're not doing that. We are too freaking busy to go off and have sex in a closet.
I can't.
I mean,
even,
there have been a
I
one or
can't
two.
even go pee.
Oh my God, who has time to pee?
How are they having relationships?
God. We
But
don't
for
do
real.
that. It is not that.
I mean, I think there has been some.
Sure, there's been
And
a
then
couple.
in my mind,
I know
I'm
of
like,
one in my history of working in a hospital that has happened. One.
I know about a lot.
I got one.
I got a lot. However, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, but for the most part, that's not what we're doing.
No.
Nor are we eating.
We're not eating. We're not drinking.
We're not.
No, we're eating pizza.
Not at the nurse's station, you're not.
No, you're not.
Where is your water? Oh, it's at the hydration station? Thank God for that. It's a great call. That fixed everything.
Ridiculous.
But, yeah, those are a whole thing. So yeah, yoga doesn't solve moral injury. I love that. I love it.
It doesn't.
Because it's true. Because it's like what actually does help with burnout and moral injury.
It's the boundaries.
It is. It's the boundaries. And this new generation is what is fixing it.
I'm so proud of them. You just don't have any idea. Even
Of
my
course.
daughter sets boundaries.
It's going to take decades to get there, but that's what they're doing. They're doing
Yeah.
it, and good for them.
Saying no
Even
to extra shifts.
residents are setting
Yes.
boundaries. Props to you guys.
Good job, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, saying no to extra shifts. I hate it when they say, well, you have mandatory overtime. Is that legal?
Never have I ever, so I don't know. I've never
Yeah,
been
we had
told.
mandatory overtime. You had to sign up for one extra shift.
I'm-
It's not in your contract, but you better do it or you're going to get written up. For what? I worked my 36 hours, but we had to have an
yeah.
extra shift because they
I
didn't
haven't
staff
experienced that.
appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my problem. That's a management problem.
I have not experienced that, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this one, reconnecting with a purpose outside of healthcare. So one of the things about healthcare and policing and fire and military is you get to be almost completely awkward. in
You give your
outside
soul.
settings.
Yeah, you give your soul to your job and who you are. It defines who you are. And then you go into outside setting, you're like,
Yeah, you're like so for instance, you have kids and you join groups with those,
how do you talk to people?
and then the parents, the other mothers are like, "Oh my God, did you see this and that and the other? Or
oh my God, I don't
are
even know
y'all
what that
doing
is.
this?" And I was like, "I put my finger in someone's butt yesterday."
So true.
You know what I mean? I'm like, "What?" I carried a watermelon.
Oh,
Like, what in the world is wrong with me? I coded a baby yesterday for 4 hours. And then
how do you talk to those people?
yeah, I'm like, then I'm completely awkward. So I have nothing to say. I mean, but I do
I
other
gave my
things.
cat mouth to nose resuscitation.
Yeah. I purged my dog because I thought I had a bowel obstruction. That's actually a true story.
It is a true story. The Hades.
Yeah.
Hades.
But
Notice the name.
but we don't have, so how do you, so when you, I think what needs to happen is the younger nurses, the younger docs, and I think they're doing these things. They're
They are.
learning to get outside of the system and continue to be normal people.
Yeah.
And not getting wrapped up in it. So we're wrapped up in it.
It's too late for us.
I think we're doing it.
I think we're doing better.
I think we're learning.
Yeah.
I'm taking.
You can teach an old dog new tricks.
I really, really do take lessons from the younger generation. I know probably my face probably doesn't tell you that, guys, but I really.
We're picking up what you're putting down.
I really am.
It's
I watch you guys.
years of stoicism that we don't react.
I think
don't
y'all are
react.
doing a solid
Everything's
job.
fine.
But you're never going to get a reaction from me.
Never.
Except for cynicism.
Cynicism's, I like
That's
it.
what you're getting.
Oh, yeah, okay,
That probably means I like you.
Yeah, we pick on you, we love you.
But so I like that. Peer support, that's a tough one for me. I don't know how. I think that needs to
We're not huggers. We've never been huggers. So we're like, good job.
Yeah.
You did good. I just now started hugging people to the side. And I'm like, oh, sweet Jesus. This feels weird. Okay.
You didn't suck in there.
Good job.
Nice.
You want a sticker?
Yeah. You want me to get you a chicken salad?
I like it. I want a chicken cup with some crackers. Yeah.
So I think, I wish corporations would help with that.
Okay. So they do have, what are the debriefings? That's new.
They
did not have that for us.
That was talked about, but no one ever debriefed. We had to do it on our own.
Yeah, we did talk about it. I remember talking
a
about
big
it, but we
thing.
never.
And so then
that's not like the pit. We did not go in a room and talk
No.
about our feelings and do all those things. We talked about talking about it,
Yeah.
but it never came to fruition. Now,
And the ER doc back in my day would say,
next.
Greg Smith, you know who you are. You would say, "You all right?"
Okay.
And you're like, "Yeah, I'm all right."
All right, pick up the next two.
Okay, let's go. And that was our debriefing.
Yeah.
And but props to those guys for even asking me.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not going to be like,
Nobody asked them.
what am I going to do? Cry to them? No.
You signed up for it.
Right. So, but thanks guys for back in the day for at least being like, hey,
You
you're
good?
all right? You need a minute? Nope. When you probably knew I did better than I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am appreciative for the times that I was asked. I will give them that. I'm going to give them that. Thanks.
Just right.
But it didn't come from my company, it didn't come from who I was working. Nobody. And I think the ER is hard to have debriefing. Like, I think they should work on that, but I don't know how to make that happen when 9,000 other things are happening. But they really should, or at least case of the month. Like, let's sit down and have a case of the month. But then again, then we talk about this.
We had rounds.
Yeah, rounds would have
Sorta.
been helpful, I guess. That all fell by the wayside, though.
Yeah.
That's something.
Again, 4 or 5 weeks later.
But it was those were helpful things. So the helpful things always seem to fall by the wayside. But I will say, like, doing a debriefing that is not in the moment is not as helpful. I don't think personally.
Mm-mm.
Because once I've left those doors or left that moment, I really don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm talking about like whenever you have a really traumatic code.
Mm-hmm. I am too. That's what I'm talking about.
And then they all gather in the room like 10 minutes after. This only happened, I think, twice that I know of when I worked in the
I've
ER
never
at
had
that
it happen.
particular ER. Twice. And it was usually children death. And they would go in there and they would debrief and everybody would cry and pat each other on the back and talk it out. But that's the only times I've ever
I've never
had
had
that
it.
happen.
Not one time in my life have I
think
ever been debriefed.
we should have had a debriefing. And I think I've talked about this before. So when Sophia was 2,
Mhm.
and she was in her little daycare. There was this little boy in her daycare, and his hair was all on his face. And then one day he comes to school, and his hair is cut up, and he looks, you can see his face. He's so cute. Oh my God! And he had a little bump on his forehead where someone had thrown a frisbee and pumped him on the. It had a little scratch right there. Well, so it was like November. It's cold outside.
Mhm.
And I had done trauma for so long, I no longer cried. Literally never cried. Joey would be like,
Mm.
you never cry at anything. What is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. It's
Never.
just what I do. I've had paramedics say, I don't know how you do what you do every day. You're just like nothing. I'm like, I don't know. I just do it. Somebody's got to do it, right? So anyway, so this little
'Cause
boy
that's
is
what we
in.
were taught.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna
just
do it.
do it. So then I have this, we get this code call. It's November. It's a kid that drowned. I'm like, okay, great. Guess who it is? Little boy in her class. He had crawled out the doggy door, fell in the pool, and drowned. And we coated that baby till he was warm and dead, because that's what you do for babies, warm and dead. You don't coat, they can't be cold and dead. They got to be warm. You got to warm them up and then keep coating. And sometimes, because the coldness keeps their brains okay. And you just, anyway. So we finally call it. Eyes are, fixed and dilated. And we call it. And at that moment, I was fine and left and went home. And I don't know, maybe seeing Sophia may mess me up a little bit. I don't know. But then I wake up at 3 a.m. and cry for 3 days and can't quit. 3 days, because then all of those other children that I had done with trauma, all of them come back.
All of them.
Mommy screaming, come back.
Mommy screaming. Ugh.
I think I've blocked a lot of that now because I can't hear that anymore.
It'll come back.
I don't want it to. But it's pretty fucking terrible.
It is. It is.
Parents screaming is terrible. Sobbing, begging, the pleading.
The bargaining.
Oh God, the
The
bargaining.
blaming. That's really tough. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
So, right. So how do you not end up?
But we never debriefed on that. We never talked about it, ever. I just cried for 3 days on my own. I'd be driving down the road, go to Whataburger, and just crying. Joe's like, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I just crying.
Right.
Well, that's what was wrong with me, because we never were able to process all of that. We didn't have that. And I think that is a line that should be.
I agree.
We should absolutely have debriefings on traumatic codes, traumatic traumas, all those things. Traumatic trauma.
What's also interesting, like, why is there no, like, psych involvement really in the ER realm? They're a very separate entity. But, like, I don't know. I'm sure some huge institutions probably have a really good relationship with their psychiatric partners, but most of the ones that I've encountered or seen, like, they are a separate entity and we are just pushing and shoving back and forth. But, like, I wonder why there isn't. I mean,
Like why we don't have an on-site psychologist for staff.
or something like that.
I mean, we should. We all have ADD and ADHD as it is. If you work in an ER, that's what you got.
But I think that someone that is just there. I mean, I don't know what their purpose would do. I could see that it could be an expense that's not needed, but there needs to be something. Even if we
have social workers there.
We do.
We don't have social workers in an ER anymore.
Not at every facility.
Do we have pharmacists in the ER anymore?
Some facilities, but not all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that that's what it's therapy that understands healthcare culture.
Yeah.
But that has to be done on the outpatient. Like, we
What?
can't do that. But the
leadership that listens to frontline workers. What?
Permission to grieve what the job has taken. So for all of us salty dogs, like, that is what you should be given, the permission to grieve what the job has taken from you.
I think a lot of people don't understand also too is that when you aren't in healthcare, how do I put this? We see the worst. So we are desensitized to a lot of things.
To everything.
Pretty much everything. And so we don't get to grieve the loss of that innocence that most people have when it comes to healthcare in general.
Right.
You don't know anything about all this other shit until it happens to you. And then when it happens to you, you get a peek inside the window of what we see every single day, 10 times over.
Right. For instance, I took my son for an x-ray today because he has been complaining of knee
Let me
pain
get your differential going.
for months. And it wasn't until another person that, or I'm sorry, my child comes home and says, "Hey, Mom, this guy at class said that I should use a knee brace or a seat." And then it dawned on me that he is now talking to other people, teens, about his knee pain because I have shown not enough
Yeah.
care and concern about said knee pain, and that's what it did. So him needing a brace, and I did buy him one, by the way, because it's like a Band-Aid.
And you got him an X-ray.
And I ordered an X-ray. So today I get here to do this podcast, and Ashley says, "Hey, the radiologist wants you to call her." Immediately, I'm like,
cancer.
"Oh God, he has Ewing sarcoma." Oh my God, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
It's not something simple.
And then it is actually very simple. She just had, I guess my son, when he was getting his x-ray today, mentioned to the tech that he plays the sport, and the radiologist, and then the tech noted it, and the radiologist happened to have a child that also played the sport.
Serendipitous.
And she's like, "I need to call her specifically because there's something I learned about this." But the whole time all the things were put together and it worked out perfect. But nonetheless, I blew it off forever. My own child, until some random child told him he needed a knee brace. And so, yeah.
Some random non-healthcare parent child.
And I have to apologize. I'm like, "Buddy, I'm sorry I didn't take this seriously." I mean, granted, the x-ray was fine. It's not cancer today. But,
look at this. What needs to change at the healthcare system level? Treating healthcare workers as humans, not units of productivity.
oh, listen, we talked a lot about this already. Real mental health support and without career repercussions.
Yeah. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Protected time for documentation.
Safe staffing ratio.
Oh,
Weird. It's weird.
Really weird.
Luckily, that's all over social media, though. Safe staffing ratios is all over social media because it doesn't happen. Everybody's
Some states have them. Like, oh my God, can you imagine working in California?
I think one state has them. Yeah, like
California has it, but then they have 15-minute breaks. They have a specific nurse hired just to relieve lunches. So this one nurse that you go to lunch and you go to lunch and you go to lunch and everybody gets a lunch.
And you're not worried about your own patients while they're
actually being taken care of. You don't have to rely on another nurse who has her own load of patients to pass a med or two for you, or if anything goes wrong. So they're doubling up on the amount of patients they have. That's not safe.
I know, but us old school nurses, here, I'll tell you the other thing I've heard. I can do it all. Right. I know you can.
Because the
old school nurses who come in to relieve lunches, then they're like, you go, and they're like, "You're going to be left with
15 patients,
no less than 8 patients," and they're like, "It's fine, I got this," which I know that they do, but that is definitely a seasoned nurse that's going to do that. So they're probably been doing it more than a decade. More than a decade, and they're going to do that. Why? Because they came from a generation where it was not acceptable. Like, if this person came in and sent that person home, you got all their patients. No one cared.
You absorbed it.
No one cared.
No.
So then you have people like the older nursing guys with the newer nursing kids coming in who have set boundaries and have done these things.
They're not going to take this many patients. They're going to take this many patients.
And I think that they're right.
They are right.
We are wrong.
I'm going to tell you
older
something.
Nurses. You know who you are.
One of my very first jobs, I was a med-surg nurse. Yay. And I love some med-surg now.
I did med-surg too.
So at this hospital, the hallways were like a big U. Like this half and this half. So this half was we were like real med-surg. We had renal, neuro, diabetes, all the things, everything, lungs, all of it, pulmonary, whatever. We had all the things. And so the back rooms on that back split, the ones that go around the horn, were single isolation rooms.
Why were they always in the back?
I don't know. They're always in the back. And they have the double bunks up front, all the double rooms up front. And then down that back split on that big U, you have the single rooms. Well, God forbid if your charge nurse didn't like you, or if you were a very strong nurse and she knew you could handle it. You would have, our max was 8 patients. We had 8 patients at a time. every single day. The max I took one time was 10 because I had a nurse leave and I had to absorb 2 of her patients. She got rid of her others, but I had 10 patients one time. But being on that back split, you have 8 patients on that back split, and every single one of them is an isolation room. So you're gowning and you're every single time going in and out, MRSA, VRE, whatever, C. diff, it doesn't matter. You were constantly gowning and gloving out of every single room.
See, and I think that's a terrible.
It was terrible.
Because not only that, but if you're looking at safety concerns.
Infection control.
Because that same nurse is gowning and gloving and gowning and gloving. So when those are split up, you're not entering each other's.
Yeah. It was awful. Because the first room you had would be a double bunk, regular kind of patient maybe. And then from then on out, the other 6 or 7 or whatever were isolation rooms.
Yeah. That is isolation room.
It was exhausting. I'm surprised I don't have C. diff to this day.
Or VRE.
Oh, VRE, absolutely. We all got MRSA. That's just a given. It's just a given. We all have MRSA. It's fine.
That is a tough gig for, I've in general.
So I'll be honest, there's 100% transparency. When I see these nurses say, I'm not taking any more than 5 pages. I'm like, bitch, I took 8 on a back split isolation ward and still got done with my day. But we had paper charting so we could document as we go. We didn't have to go find a computer either.
But we're also broken. You see what it did
we're
to us.
broken.
That's why props to them for
I love that they're doing that, but
it is
it's
tough.
the same
That's what I'm saying.
thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As us older nurses are still in this game,
It's making me short of breath.
it is very hard
Thinking
for
about
me not to be resentful for the fact
I am
that
resentful because I wish we had stood up for ourselves better.
Right.
Why the fuck
But it
did we
has
stand up for
nothing to do
ourselves?
with those
It really
nurses.
has nothing to do with them. It really doesn't.
we're mad at ourselves.
We are so mad at ourselves.
And we're proud of you for standing up for
We're
yourself.
just burnt out.
But we're burnt out.
Turn the fuck out.
I don't know. I don't think there's an actual cause. I think it's time. At least we recognize, right? They say that, accepting and speaking the words is the first step to healing.
I think maybe it's our generation too.
Oh, guaranteed.
I think that has a lot of transference into how we are.
And what we didn't want. So these kids coming up, the new nurses that are
Boundary
coming
setters.
in, that's from our generation, their parents teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
So our kids will be the same because a lot of our people have children that could be nurses.
What? I tried to talk mine out of it. She's still going to go.
Mine still vomits at the thought of blood. So we're good.
Mm.
I don't think mine's going to be in any kind of care.
But I think too, that's a lot of the reason why a lot of us older salty dogs got out of hospital healthcare. That's exactly why I got out of it, because I just felt like I was turning and burning. We were just go through the motions all day, every day. It wasn't changing. It wasn't getting better. It was monotonous. Yes, it's ER. Yes, it's fun. And yes, you get to see all the fun stuff, but then you also see the moral injury and the emotional, just, I can't even think of a word. There goes my brain fog with my burnout.
Burnout.
The emotional burnout. So, I think, and for me, stepping out and doing this instead, oh my God, I'm a different person.
And so I did a little different route. I'm still in it, but I've not made it my priority.
I love that.
That's what it is not my priority.
Because they made it be our priority.
I cannot give my entire soul anymore. I mean, they get my soul for the time that I'm there, and I try to do the best job that I can and how they want it done. But once that I'm done, I'm done with that day.
Yeah, I used to be able to walk away and just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the difference one to here too, is I usually
Yes.
can leave it here, but then I worry about my patients at home.
Yes. No, I do worry about some patients, like I think about them, but not the 15 cough, colds, and congestions I saw. I'm probably not thinking about those guys. But there's a few that, we all think about them. I don't think you'll never not think about your patients. Because it's part of your life. So it creeps in. But what I'm saying is that I have learned to do other things that I find enjoyable that are not part of the ER instead of ER stuff.
I got to do more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get out and do more.
Oh, because there's more time for you to do more things.
You're listening to Teens and Ash, the show where 2 real-life providers get real about health habits, wellness, and the broken healthcare system. We're here to educate, empower, and entertain you. one appointment free episode at a time. This is healthcare without the bullshit.